Have you ever had a day when everything felt heavy before it even began? Maybe you woke up with questions, worries, or just that quiet ache in your soul. Let me tell you something bold. You were not created to live buried under the weight of fear, uncertainty, or disappointment. You were created to praise, in the light and in the dark. In today's video, we're not just talking about praise, we're living it. Because when you choose to worship no matter what comes, you shift your atmosphere, your focus, and your faith. This morning prayer is for every heart that says, God, I don't know what's ahead, but I know I'll praise you through it. So before we begin, take a second, like this video, subscribe for daily encouragement, and comment, I will praise you, Lord, below. Let's fill this space with declarations of faith that shake the gates of fear. Now breathe in and let your soul rise. Let's begin. Even if life feels uncertain, even if you woke up with heaviness in your heart, you are still breathing. And that means you are still chosen, still loved, still seen. Before the sun rose today, God was already faithful. And that alone is reason enough to lift your voice. Praise isn't a reward for good days. It's the foundation for every day. When we praise God first, we shift the atmosphere of our heart. We make space for peace, strength, and guidance to flow freely. Declare it this morning. Today, I will bless you before I beg you. My breath will be my praise. I praise you not for what I see, but for who you are. Life brings mountaintops, but it also brings valleys, dark, confusing, and often lonely places. But even in those spaces, God is near. The speaker remembers moments of deep pain, when loss left them speechless, when sickness weakened their body, when loneliness lingered like a shadow. And yet, even in those valleys, God never left. His presence didn't always change the situation immediately, but it changed them. In the tears, in the silence, in the desperation, they found a love that held firm and a comfort that could not be shaken. Sometimes the most powerful praise is a whisper. God, I don't understand, but I still trust you. That kind of praise terrifies the enemy and strengthens the soul. It says, you may shake my world, but you won't steal my worship. Speak this softly or shout it boldly. Even in the valley, I will praise you. My faith lives beyond my feelings. You are still my shepherd. Have you ever praised God through pain? Share your story in the comments. You never know who might need your testimony today. Looking back, the speaker sees a trail of miracles, not always flashy, but always faithful. There were moments when resources ran low, when doors slammed shut, when every human effort failed, and just in time, God made a way. A bill paid unexpectedly, a diagnosis reversed, a phone call of encouragement right when it was needed. These weren't coincidences, they were divine fingerprints, and each one became a stone in the altar of remembrance. Look what the Lord has done. The speaker opens their heart, remembering rejection, betrayal, and the sting of discouraging words. But louder than all of it was the voice of God whispering, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139, verse 14. People may walk away, words may wound, but God's affirmation is eternal. His truth overrides every lie spoken over your identity. In your lowest moments, He doesn't define you by your failure. He restores you with His promise. When the world says, not enough, God says, more than conqueror. When fear screams, you can't, Jesus says, I already did. Worship becomes warfare when it replaces insecurity with identity. Lord, this morning I lift my voice, not because life is perfect, but because you are. I choose to praise you in joy and in sorrow, in laughter and in tears. I praise you when the door opens and when it closes, when I understand and when I don't. My song is not based on my season. My worship is not conditional. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are my strong tower, my refuge, my Prince of Peace. You hold the world in your hands, and yet you hold me with care and compassion. You defend me, guide me, love me, and correct me. For that, I praise you. Even if the future brings storms, my praise will rise. Even if I walk through fire, my faith will stand, because you are worthy of it all, forever and always. Declaration to speak. No matter what comes my way, I will praise you. You are enough. I was made to worship you. If this prayer ignited something in your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I will praise you, Lord, as a public declaration of your faith.